I wasn't on Scorsese's student film project. I was on another one, but someone had butchered his negative of his student film. The professor asked, is there anyone here who can help him restore his film? And I said, well, I'll try. And that's how I accidentally met him. We began to work together, and 50 years later, I'm still working for him, thankfully. He truly became the reason I became a filmmaker. He trained me, he taught me everything I've ever known about film editing. It is a wonderful creative process between the two of us. We just constantly are exchanging ideas and doing, as I said, what's right for the film.
I want to thank, first of all, Marty Scorsese. He edited this film with me every minute of the time. I want to thank him particularly for his brilliant direction, and Robert De Niro for his incredible performance, which gave me gold to work with.
I think editors need a strong sense of discipline, a musical sense, which fortunately I had. I had been trained to play instruments and the piano, so Scorsese has a great gift for putting music to films, and I think that is very important. You have to obviously have a gift for it, but you also have to cooperate with the other filmmakers on your film, particularly the director. Your job is to get his vision up on the screen. You have to give him his chance to do it the way he wants to first. Then he's usually able to see if that doesn't work and you come up with another solution. Sometimes when Scorsese comes in, I've created 4 different edits of a scene for him because there are so many options, and then together we decide which option to use. But your job must be, you have to not, I think, let your ego play too much of a role in this, because your job is to do what's right for the film.
Scene 3, take 1.
We like a certain roughness sometimes in the film editing style that maybe a Hollywood editor wouldn't like. Hollywood editors tend to like a slick style of editing where all the bumps are removed, but sometimes Marty and I like to keep in those bumps because they add a certain grittiness to the film, a certain reality. Or we like maybe to shock the audience with a cut they're not expecting, which will refresh them and make them look at something in a new way, instead of letting them glide through the film, which is the way some Hollywood editors like things to be. They don't want the audience to notice the editing. There's a scene in Goodfellas, for example, where the marriage scene, and it's a Jewish wedding, and in the Jewish wedding they break a glass under the groom breaks a glass under his foot as part of the symbolism of the wedding. And the way we cut that, if you look at that sequence, you'll see it's very jaggedly cut. It's a very odd way we did it. If it was cut by a Hollywood editor, probably everything would have matched, you know, everything would have come into the frame, exited one frame, come into another frame, whereas we forcibly made what was some people would consider an orthodox cut or a bad cut. Some people might consider it a bad cut, but we like that kind of thing.
Scene 3, take 1.
My job first is to look at the dailies every day that he shot the day before, and he wants me to let him know if there's anything I feel is wrong, or which hardly ever happens. And so then the most important early part of the film is when he looks at the dailies with me, and he gives me incredible stream of thoughts about what he has done. And so I tell him what I think, he tells me what he thinks, and as he's telling me what he thinks about each shot, he'll say, I'm trying to move this actor a little bit more to a different performance here, or I think I got it in the 6th take, or I hate that shot, don't ever show it to me again. So from those notes and my own notes, I start to do the first assembly of the film as he's shooting. And then when he's through shooting, his favorite part of filmmaking is editing. And so he and I edit the film together, and it's a great joy, I can tell you. As I said, it's just a very lively, wonderful interplay of ideas, all working towards the same goal, which is what is right for the movie. I think the most wonderful thing about editing is that you're given all this raw material, and it's your job to make choices, in this case along with Scorsese, into how to focus the scene. You know, when do you cut to a close-up of one actor rather than the other? When do you use wide shots? How to shape a sequence it's the most incredibly creative act anybody can have, I think. It's just the most wonderful job in the world. I'm so lucky to have it. I've worked on 24 movies with him.